Hey everybody, and welcome to another knife review. I seem to have become addicted to knives, so we're just gonna get through this as a team, I suppose. So I'm really excited about this one. It's a Boker Plus, and the model is the Boker Plus Kihon Assisted Copper. I'm really excited about this. It's my first assisted opener, and it's actually my first knife with D2 steel. I'm just slowly trying to figure out the differences between the steels, so I'm not super well versed on it, but it seems to be kind of your first step up before you start getting into, like, you'll have your cheap, like your 8CR MOVs, things like that are kind of your minimum standards, and then you get into your D2 tool steels, your next step up, and then from there you start getting into your like S30Vs, S90Vs, your kind of higher end stuff. That said, D2 steel does seem to have the same hardness. To my understanding, it just might chip a little easier or might be not as corrosion resistant, but there's a lot of debate on that, and for most people's knife usage, steel probably doesn't even matter. Anyway, immediately out of the gate, comes in this fancy zip case, which, although it's neat, I don't see the point of it. I don't know who's carrying it in this or storing it in this, but it's nice to have some presentation. What we've got here, so just see how this one's in English. Thank you for your support, care instructions, cutting tool, not a screwdriver, lever, tool, or chisel, hammer, or crowbar. Well, you're no fun. Keep the blade of the knife sharp, good advice in general. Clean the blade with water after each use, not shy, I agree. Dry handle carefully after each cleaning, oil the blade knife regularly, oil the mechanism of the knife regularly, and keep them free of dirt. Some pocket knives have a clip. The clip is not intended to be attached to the belt, but used to attach knives to the pants pocket, clip pointing outwards. Really starting from a low bar there, but okay. So that's nice of them. Has a nice wrap. I appreciate good packaging. I've complained before about cheap plastic packaging, and this one feels good. So immediately, it's a hefty knife. I mean, it is copper. They have a lot that aren't copper, but the non-copper ones have kind of one scale, and then the other side is a frame lock, which I'm not real hot on frame locks. They look unfinished to me, but I actually wanted the copper because I like the way that they kind of weather over time. Once you get a bit of patina on there, it has a really nice look to it, and in this day and age, it's good to know that copper is somewhat antibacterial. It'll actually just slowly resist and kill bacteria, so that's kind of a handy thing to know. Nice heavy knife, opens beautiful. I mean, it's assisted, so it's going to be great anyway. I've never had an assisted open knife. I've never owned one. But every one I've ever played with has opened nice. I think that's an easy thing to do properly, but not bad at all. Seems balanced okay. I don't know much about balance for knives, really. Just does it feel good in the hands, which I've got pretty big hands, so I'm going to say it feels good to me. It's a very thick knife this way. It's not bad this way. But there's just a lot of knife to it, and no, I think it feels really good. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. But there you have it. Copper handles, D2 blade, assisted open, liner lock, which is my preference. Looking at the clip, I'm a little hesitant. I'm not sure if it'll show up on camera, but you've got a pretty big gap here. And it's kind of bowed in the middle. It's a sturdy clip. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'd never bend that by accident. I'm just worried I'll be hooking this on things, catch it on seat belts and stuff. But time will tell. Like I said, I'm going to use it for a little while, keep it in my pocket, and kind of check in for the second half of this video in a few weeks, maybe a month, something like that, and see how I feel about it. It's also got some nice big holes in the back end for a lanyard, which is something I've never done on a pocket knife. Just seems like you'd have, cordage hanging out of your pocket because the top of your pocket's going to be right here. But maybe I'll give it a try. Add that to the list of things to check out now that I seem to be having a pocket knife obsession. Another concern of mine with this is that copper is very smooth. There's not a lot of grip there, right? If you look, you have some machining marks. Not a lot. It looks like they ran a face mill on there to get it clean, which that's how you do it. But I'm worried that when your hands get wet or a little sweaty, it might be a touch hard to hold on to, which is where that hilt's going to come in handy. But again, this is just kind of an unboxing, show you what you get. and we'll go from there and check in with you guys in a few weeks and see what I think. But I'm optimistic. I like it already. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Hey everybody. So, welcome back. So I've been carrying this thing around for about a month and a half, and guess I'll do kind of my final thoughts on it. As you can see over that time, it's gotten some great patina on it just in here. I hope the light catches it. It's just starting to change colors, catching the right light. But because I rub this side on my pocket every time I take it in and out, it hasn't actually patinaed much, just a little around the clip, which I actually think is kind of neat. I did have one issue, which hopefully I can splice the clip in now. So just a kind of mid-test update. Been carrying it around for a little over a week now. Really like it, but I was sitting on the couch playing with it and noticed the pocket clip was a little loose, and I thought, oh, I better tighten that up. You know, still sitting there flipping it around, open, close, and the whole thing just fell off. So, I'm not exactly sure. It's not reversible on this knife. It's, you know, set on one side, which is the side I like it on, but they maybe should have, I don't know, put a little bit of Loctite on there or something, because if this thing fell apart, you know, in the snow or something, I mean, there's 2 feet of snow outside. If you lose that in a snowbank, you would never going to find it. And that seems like a pretty specific sized screw. I don't know if a guy would ever be able to eyeball a replacement, so that would be a bit of a headache. Overall, still enjoying the knife. Just one little thing I noticed along the way. I'm going to keep using it a bit more and try and get a few more updates as time goes on. If that worked, yeah, that was my only issue, was this rattling loose. Luckily it happened at home. I was able to fix it at home quickly. Hasn't been an issue since, so if you go out and buy one, maybe just give it a quick tighten. And that's definitely a thing with all knives now I'll probably be checking, because if I was out hiking in the backcountry or something like that, or you know, just out and about, it's real easy to lose those small parts, and I'd sure been frustrated. Didn't loosen up much, still good and solid. I didn't use it enough to have to sharpen it, so as far as taking an edge goes, you know, it's D2 steel. I'm sure it's great, whatever. No patina or any issues with the blade itself. Didn't do any hardcore prying, so that's fine. I did actually end up using this a little bit in the cold and the snow. I hit a raven with my car and blew out the headlight. Maybe I can load a picture and throw it in here. It was good. It worked. I had to cut some duct tape and cover the hole in my headlight, so my hands were covered in a bit of snow, and it was a little chilly out, you know, right around 0, so I guess not that cold. And I found that even with wet hands, I didn't lose grip on the knife. It has this little hilt, so you can get pretty good grip no matter how bad your hands are. So that was one issue I had earlier with the smooth scales on it. I really like this knife. I'm very happy I bought it, and actually the reason it took me so long to do the second half of this is that I didn't want to stop carrying it and start carrying the next one for the review, because I was just enjoying it. It's a nice knife. I like showing it to people. They get a lot of... It generates a lot of oohs and ahs because it's just a nice, unique looking knife. It's got a good weight and a good balance to it. And having that assisted opening, that's real nice. It's easy to control, easy to open, easy to close. Bumping this with my thumb, even in, you know, cold with a bit of snow or moisture on my hand, not an issue. And yeah, once you go to an assisted opening, it's kind of hard to go back, I think. I mean, I'm always excited to try a new knife, and new is always exciting and interesting, but yeah, I think this one's going to be kind of the go-to from now on. Every time I grab something off the top of the dresser to put in my pocket for the day, this is kind of the one my hand gravitates towards, so, you know, read that however you like. Anyway, that's really all I've got for closing thoughts. Is it's been real great. I've had no issues. The only concern I had, well, I had one issue, that's right, I had the clip come off, which we just talked about. My concerns about it being slick when my hands are cold and wet, completely unfounded. That's not an issue at all. I guess if you were hypothermic and you really couldn't get a good grip on it, maybe, but at that point, you're going to have problems with pretty much any knife in existence. Yeah. Only downside I can think of is that it's a little bit on the heavy side because you've got the copper scales on it, so You know, if that's a concern of yours, you certainly know what you're getting into when you buy it. If you want lighter, there's a lot of knives out there, and this you can actually get with other scales. I would assume that would be lighter, but I like it with a little bit of heft. Yeah, that's all I got. Short and sweet. It's a great knife. They're all great. I haven't had a bad one yet, I guess. I'm just that kind of guy. Have a good one.